But first I need to establish a routine for her, like I did, you know, when she was outside with the Lucky Seven before they were, you know, trapped and neutered.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It is 7:30 a.m. Here's Boo. Good morning, Boo. The schedule that I tried yesterday is not going to work. Like, it's not going to work. It's wearing me out. I was sleeping on the couch since 2 a.m. At one point, I woke up for about a half hour. I just feel myself getting run down. Like, this is not good for me. I need a normal schedule for myself. I think with the motion sensor outside, the motion sensor that rings whenever, like, there's a cat on the front step near food, that is going to be a game changer, because that means I could go back to my normal schedule, keep that near like my bed, like on a bedside table. And then if it rings, all I have to do is wake up, open up the camera app to view what's going on in real time. There's no 2-minute delay like there is with the security camera app. And then, you know, if it's Sammy, go to the front door and open the door, and then leave the door open while she's still in the area, and try that. Because yesterday, when I had to wrangle the cats and put them in the bedroom, like, it was difficult. And they were stressed out because it was a different routine for them. Although, look at what's going on right here. There's Splash and Simba. This would have been perfect if they would have done this on their own yesterday. Then I would have just shut the door. Right now, I believe they have music for cats playing in here, the nice, relaxing music for cats. So I'm happy that they're nice and relaxed. It's 12:20 p.m. Here's Richard and Nancy. Nancy's under the box. Today has been one of the most difficult mornings yet. Out of the past 2 weeks, today was like probably the second most difficult morning. I mean, it's definitely up there in the top 3. I'm feeling a little bit better now, but it was bad this morning. Like, anxiety was through the roof, panic attack. I think it's because I hardly got any sleep last night. So even though I took a nap yesterday, I ended up staying up until 2 a.m. And then, like, I fell asleep for a while, but then I woke up. Then I fell asleep for a while, then I woke up. Then I fell asleep for a while. So all totaled, I probably only got like 4 hours of sleep. And I don't do well on, you know, such little sleep, especially when it's disturbed. Like, if it was like 4 straight hours, that would be one thing, but it was not. So I was definitely not feeling great when I woke up. And being off of my usual schedule is not helping me, and it's not helping the cat. So Boo threw up this morning. Like, I woke up at like 7 and I forgot to defrost food, so I gave the cat some crunchies. Then like a half hour later, Boo threw them up. And then last night, I gave the cats their dinner, and then Boo threw up last night. So I think it's because, like, our schedule's off, and, you know, the cats know I'm stressed, so they're getting themselves stressed, and I can't do that. I have to get myself back on a normal schedule. I think having the motion sensor by the front door, so if a cat does come by, it rings and it lets me know in real time that someone's there. I think that's going to definitely be helpful. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating anything. I don't even, like, remember what I filmed last or not. I'm forcing myself to eat again today. I was really nauseous this morning. I thought I was going to throw up, but most of that seems to pass. I ate a banana, I ate a hard-boiled egg, and I've been drinking juice and water, so I'm kind of reverting back to what I was doing, you know, when I was going through really high anxiety. This morning, on a scale of 1 to 10, my anxiety was like a 9 or a 10. Like, it was really, really up there. And right now, I'm probably like a 5. I've been working on my computer because I have to get work done, you know, day job kind of work done. So I did some of that today, which is progress. I really need to spend the majority of the day, like, practicing self-care and also relaxing and getting rest. I feel like what's happening is I'm just becoming exhausted from trying to do too much, and also from being off of a typical schedule. And I know the cats are being affected by it, and I don't want that to happen. So I kind of need to like reset today. Today's going to be like a reset day. And hopefully, like moving forward, I won't let myself get run down like this. But this whole thing is a learning process because I've never had a cat gone missing for so long before, especially in the middle of winter. And the fact that it is the middle of winter and it is so cold out and the weather's been so bad, that is like a prime contributor to me feeling run down. Because if it was any other time of the year, I would not be feeling as run down as I am because it's been brutally cold out and I've been spending a lot of time outside in this cold weather, which is not helpful. It's almost 3 p.m. Here's Boo. He's hanging out in this cat tower. He just ate half of a churro. Simba ate the other half. For some reason, Boo did not want the entire churro. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that today is day 16. So 16 days ago, I took Stella to the vet emergency room. And it has just been like nonstop for the past 16 days, which is just a little more than 2 weeks. I honestly thought it was longer than that, but it's only been 16 days. And today I have a family member who is helping me with some things around the house. I have been wanting to do everything by myself. Obviously, I do have people outside of this house who are helping to try to locate Sammy. They're keeping an eye out for Sammy. I am absolutely floored by how many people in the neighborhood are like looking for Sammy. They have her on their radar. They've been like calling me or texting me. The women down the block have been really concerned about her. They always look for her anytime they leave their house. So I'm really happy with the amount of help that I've been getting like outside of this house looking for Sammy. And I've really wanted to do everything myself as far as like get through this time of crisis. But today I had such a bad morning, and what's going on also inside the house is that everything is just piling up. Like things are not getting cleaned that should be getting cleaned. I need things to be organized, and just there's a lot of stuff. You know, when you have 11 cats or even 9 cats, there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done on a daily basis. When you own a house, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken care of on a daily basis. When you have a job, a full-time job, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken care of on a daily basis. When you have a YouTube channel, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken care of on a daily basis. So it's very challenging on a good day, and on a bad day, it's pretty much impossible to do everything that needs to get done. And I've been slacking off on so much of it just because I'm just trying to make sure that I physically get through this. So I did have a family member offer to help me today. And so I do have help. Right now, they've actually gone to pick up Stella from the company that did her cremation. I just spoke to that company to make sure everything goes okay with the pickup. Everything should be smooth there. But that is such a big help because it's like a half hour there, a half hour back. You know, that's a lot of stress to go there and to pick up Stella and to deal with all that. And it's freezing out. It's like 28 degrees today. So that's a big help. They've been helping me today as far as like doing dishes and scooping litter boxes, and when they get back, they're going to help me with some more shopping and some other stuff around the house. So that is going to be a tremendous help, and it's really going to help me catch up a little bit. So if you're going through a similar situation, you know, if you're dealing with a lot at once and everything is overwhelming and you really need to take care of yourself, don't hesitate to accept help. I know there are a lot of people that don't like accepting help. They don't like asking for help. Some people are just not good at receiving help. They love helping other people, but they're not good at receiving it themselves. Don't feel like you can't receive help. Sometimes all you need is just a few hours of help to kind of move you in a positive direction, to kind of, you know, just get the ball rolling, start some momentum. So that's what I'm hoping is happening today. And I just wanted to document that. And I'm definitely feeling better now than I did earlier. I did eat some more food. I had half of a turkey sandwich, hoping that the tryptophan in the turkey will help relax me. I'm also in the process of making some homemade chicken soup. It will be much easier for me to do that when I have someone here to help me with the cleanup. So that is my reasoning for doing that. But other than that, I'm just trying to get through the day. It is 4:45 p.m. and here's Boo. And I have not filmed anything today because I've had my family member here helping me out. We got a lot of stuff done. They were able to run a lot of errands for me, so that was really, really great. And I wanted to mention that Sammy came by 4 times last night. 4 times. The first time she came by was just around 11 p.m. and she ate some of the food that I put out for her. And then what I did was I tried to open the front door as quietly as possible. But it was still too loud because when she heard me, she looked up and then she ran toward the sidewalk. And I don't know where she went after there because it was dark. So that was that. And then an hour and a half later, she came back around 12:30 and she ate some more food. This time I tried to keep the door shut, but not shut. I wanted to make it I didn't have to unlock it. I didn't have to turn a doorknob, nothing like that. I basically just had to kind of open it so it would make as little sound as possible, but it still scared her. So she left. And then she came back probably a half hour later. And what I had done was I had left the screen door open about 6 inches. And I left the main front door open 4 inches. Plenty of room for her to be able to come inside. And I put more food in the heated feeder. And then I also put a trail of rotisserie chicken leading into the house with a bunch of rotisserie chicken in the house. I thought that she would take that bait, but she didn't. She just ate what was in the feeder and then she left. But then she came back at 4 o'clock in the morning and she ate the rotisserie chicken. So that's what happened. It's 5:20 p.m. The memory card in this camera was completely full, so I had to download all the footage. One of the things that I got done today was this clothesline that has been hung up between the house and the garage, and I put one of the blankets that the Lucky 7 uses hanging on this clothesline. The reason why is because maybe it'll help attract Sammy, and it is up high enough that it's getting plenty of airflow. It's kind of blowing around in the little bit of wind we have. So I'm hoping it's kind of like a flag for her, and it's like, okay, Sammy, this is your home. This is where your brothers and sisters are. And the other thing I should say is that last night, at one point when she left the bowl in the front, she ran around the side of the house to the patio area. And I thought she was going to go in the Rubbermaid shelter underneath the house. So I went out to look to see if she was in it. And I felt so bad because cousin Oliver was in it and he was fast asleep. But when I shone my flashlight on it, like, he jumped out, and I could tell by his face, he's like, I'm completely sleeping. Like, why are you waking me up? And then he ran off. And I did not see her anywhere in the backyard. So I don't know where she went because I have security cameras like all over. So that was a mystery to me. And I have 2 more security cameras on order. They're supposed to be arriving tomorrow. And I'm going to put them in the front yard to get a better idea of, like, where is she going? When she leaves the front step area where the food is, where is she going? Now, that's assuming a lot, though. That's assuming she's going to be back for food. That's what I'm hoping. So 2 days ago, she came by for food in the middle of the night. And then last night, she spent quite a bit of time around the yard because, she was here 4 times. I don't think she went very far between each time. So I'm hoping that I can make this a nightly occurrence for her, just to get her coming on a nightly basis. Maybe eventually she'll calm down enough to walk in the house, or if I have to, I'll put a trap out. But first I need to establish a routine for her, like I did when she was outside with the Lucky 7 before they were, trapped and neutered. Another thing that I've learned regarding the situation is that when a feral cat becomes a house cat, like, they learn a whole new way of life. They learn completely new behaviors, just a whole new way of living. But if they go back outside, they very quickly revert to their feral behavior. It's like Sammy has not been, like, trained or socialized at all. It's just like she flipped the switch and she is right back to being the feral cat that she was before she was trapped. Right, Boo? How you doing, Boo? He likes it. He likes it when I squeeze his ears. Squeeze your ears. So it's still really cold out today. It's only in the 20s. Tonight, it's supposed to get down to the teens again. And then after today, the weather is supposed to gradually warm up for the next 5 days. We're supposed to have like either sunny or partly sunny weather, which will be good. Tomorrow, there is a slight chance of snow, like 20 to 30% chance of snow. So I'm hoping we don't get any snow. I'm hoping it just passes us. How you doing, boo? I also had 2 mouse traps put in the garage because there definitely seems to be at least 1 mouse in the garage. So hopefully the traps will take care of that. I got 6 bags of cat litter today, which was great. And I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, but Stella was picked up from the company that handles her cremation. So I have her ashes, her paw prints. I did like 2 different types of prints, and fur clipping. It's all in the shopping bag that it came in. I did take everything out to make sure it's what I ordered, but I just put it back in the shopping bag. I can't really deal with it right now. I need to just kind of put that on a back burner. It's kind of like what I did with Ditto, even kind of with Hydrox. When I got them back, I just had to kind of process it for a while before I put photos in their photo urns and, you know, put everything else away. It is 8:10 a.m. Good morning, Simba. Simba slept here all night. Right, Simba? Here's Splash. Good morning, Splash. Splash slept here all night. The reason why I know this is because I got up several times through the night to put more cat food outside. And every time I did, Splash and Simba were here where they are. So I'm glad they've gotten some good rest, hopefully. I got some very good rest last night. I probably got the best night's sleep that I've had in weeks. And I did get up to check on the cat food outside several times. Sammy came by 3 times last night. So at 8:30 she came by. She came by at 10. And then like I went to bed and there was like 1 or 2 other cats that came by. And then Sammy came by at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I felt bad for Sammy because when she came by at 4 o'clock in the morning, like the rotisserie chicken that I put out for her, it was frozen solid. She couldn't eat it, but she ate the food that was in the heated bowl. So I just kept refilling the heated bowl. Anytime a cat came by and ate the food, I would refill it because I just wanted to make sure Sammy was getting good food. So Sammy ate 3 times last night, and each time she ate a decent amount of food. So that's good. The other thing that I noticed for the first time was that Sammy was actually using the backyard more. So I saw her on some of the cameras walking down the side of the house and walking through the backyard to my neighbor's yard. And so potentially she could have been hanging out in my neighbor's yard because then like later when she went back to the food bowl, that's where she was coming from also. She was also coming from that yard. My initial thought was, oh yeah, I'm going to go check the yard today. But then I was talking to Grandma Farrell and I think we both kind of agreed that I should not do that. That if she's comfortable there, I don't want to chase her out of that yard or scare her out of that yard. It's just really good that she's making progress. So she's been here for the past 2 nights in a row. She's eaten multiple times each night. Last night was the first night that I saw her multiple times in the backyard. It could also be because I have the blanket hung up on the clothesline. Maybe, you know, that scent is making her more comfortable in the backyard. But we'll just see what happens today. I want to get her on a routine, like on a set routine, so she comes by every night, so she doesn't go far, so she sticks around the yard. That is the routine that I want. Then hopefully in a few days when it gets warmer, I could try putting a trap out. Here's Boo. Or maybe I wouldn't even need to put a trap out. Maybe she'll get more comfortable and she'll just walk in the door. You know, that's very wishful thinking. Or maybe she'll start coming by the back door and she'll see the Lucky 7 inside the back door. And that'll make her more comfortable and maybe she'll want to come in. I don't know. But we're making good progress right now, right, Boo? And my goal today is just to try to get us back on more of a routine. I feel so much better this morning after getting a good night's sleep. I cannot tell you how important sleep is. Like, my body just does not function on 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night for many nights in a row. So far this morning, I'm not nauseous, which is great, because all the lack of sleep was making me nauseous. So far this morning, I have not had any anxiety. I was also taking some extra supplements yesterday, and I was taking holy basil tea. So I made a cup of holy basil tea after finding out that it helps to reduce cortisol levels. Now, cortisol levels are related to the adrenals, and they do peak in the morning. And I do believe that is why I've been feeling so bad in the morning, and it improves as I get on with my day. It's because of the cortisol spike that happens in the morning. So I was looking into ways like, how could I reduce cortisol levels? Well, obviously getting a good night's sleep greatly reduces cortisol levels. But also I found out that holy basil tea, which I know is an adaptogen, and I use that like all the time. If I'm not feeling my best, I'll take some holy basil tea. And the way an adaptogen works is that it kind of just does what your body needs. It's an herb that can like adapt itself to many different things. So I know I had it in my kitchen, so I was like, let me see if that will help lower cortisol levels. And according to some studies, that it can reduce cortisol levels by more than 30%. So I sipped on that last night, and then I kept a little bit of it by my bedside table, and then I sipped on that this morning when I woke up. I also had some water, so maybe that's been helping. Right, Boo? But I'm just so happy. I'm feeling so much better than I was yesterday, and I'm feeling much, much, much better than I was like 2 days ago. So I am going to start getting ready for my day, and I'm going to try to get us into a new routine, right, Boo? So the goal is to get back into a routine and to consistently start feeling better, and to work on getting Sammy into her routine so it'll be easier to get her in the house. Also, what I was able to do yesterday is actually post a vlog for the first time in almost a week, or maybe even a week. And the reason why I was able to do that is because I did have help over the past 2 days. And I had help taking care of errands and help taking care of stuff around the house. So that was huge, just to help me get caught up with some stuff and freeing up enough time that I could actually sit down and finish editing a vlog, right, Boo? And now that I'm feeling better because I actually got some sleep, hopefully I could start just, getting back up to speed with things, because I've been doing everything so slowly. Like, everything has just been in slow motion. This is where I had the bowl last night. As you can see, there's no cat food left in that bowl. So what happens is the birds come in the morning and they finish off whatever cat food is left in the bowl. I'm going to check the security camera though, and I'm going to see if anyone came by after Sammy came by at 4 a.m. To finish off the food. And I had this spider like right here. The spider was here, and then the string was here, and then the wand was here. But Sammy did not even notice it. She did not even notice the spider, which would be the complete opposite if she was inside. If she was inside, like, that would have been her key focus, would have been her spider baby. And I still have, can you see it? There's a spider here hanging on the door. And over there is the motion sensor. The motion sensor is a game changer. It's really like having a little doorbell for the cats. Because every time a cat shows up, it rings and it lets me know that there's a cat here, and it's in real time. I'm not waiting for like a delay through an app or anything. So what I would like to do today is move this even closer to the door, and just gradually move it closer. We are supposed to get some snow today, like later. I don't know what time it is supposed to start. I'm hoping it's not a lot of snow. I'm hoping it's just a little bit of snow, but we are supposed to get precipitation. Something I just noticed is that the water that was frozen here from the water bowl, it's gone. I don't know where that went. Otherwise, like, this is the snow that's left on the lawn, and it's all ice. Like, it looks like snow, but it's just all ice. It's 9 a.m. here, Simba. I'm getting ready for my day. And I feel so good today. Like, it's amazing what one really good night of sleep can do. But I have to keep telling myself that I have to continue to like relax today, because I don't want to make the mistake that I've been making, which is, oh, I feel good, so then I go run around doing things, and then the next day I feel bad again. So I need to make sure that I'm taking it easy today, and that, you know, I'm just doing stuff around the house. I have plenty of food in the house. I have plenty of cat food in the house. I have everything that I need, right, Simba? So I should not have to go and do anything, because all of my errands were caught up yesterday, right, Simba? The only thing that would make me need to go back out is if the mouse traps in the garage have mice in them. Then I would go out and buy new ones, or maybe I would just order them on Amazon. But I have to make a conscious effort to remind myself, okay, don't do too much today. Don't overextend yourself today, because that's how good I'm feeling. Right, Simba? I just put the plate of leftover chicken and dry cat food in this heated bowl, and I check the water bowl. The water bowl is frozen solid, completely frozen solid. So now I have to go outside and check the outlet that it is hooked up to. It's hooked up to the same outlet that the new heated cat shelter outside is hooked up to. So I have to make sure, you know, something didn't trip the outlet. I also checked the mouse traps in the garage. There are no mice in the mouse traps. So hopefully I could get this electrical issue resolved. It feels so good to not be nauseous in the morning. So today I'm having a big bowl of soup. This is some of the homemade chicken soup that I made the other day with some rice, and I cut up a hard-boiled egg and some salt and pepper. It is 6:09 p.m. and I have the heated kitty cafe set up here. I didn't put any food in it yet, and I switched the water bowl and the food bowl. I usually keep the water bowl in the larger bowl, but I've decided to put the water bowl in the smaller bowl because they haven't really been drinking much water. They've just mostly been eating, and I think it's hard for them to get the food out of the bottom of the smaller bowl. So I figure the larger bowl will be better for food, because it'll just have more heated bowl surface to keep the food from freezing. I put the two brand new security cameras outside. So there's one on the bottom of the step here. There's one on the bottom of the step here. And they're both pointing out, like to see the sides of the house. The new heated cat shelter is like this side. So here's the railing. This is like a little evergreen tree. It's kind of like underneath the evergreen tree next to the house. It's plugged into an extension cord. The instructions say don't plug it in an extension cord, but the one that I had in the back, I think a cat just went flying through the yard, like running really fast. I think that was a cat. It was like a little black cat. I wonder if that was Sammy, because that's how fast she is. Was that Sammy? If that was Sammy, she was too fast for any of the security cameras to even catch her. There's a fox in the yard. I don't know if you could see it. I hope that fox was not chasing whatever was running through my yard. I don't necessarily know that it was Sammy because I did not see any flashes of white. And I know that she has like, you know, white paws and like a white bib. But I might have to see if I caught it on my camera because the security cameras did not catch it. It's almost 6:30 and here's Boo. This is what he does. So when I get ready to put plates of food out for like the cats or, you know, try to lure Sammy at night, Boo always wants to taste it. He's like, let me taste it first. So this is a can of the wellness pate. It's chicken and herring, which the cats usually don't like. So I've been putting it out for like Cousin Oliver. And I was going to put some out for Sammy. Actually, I did. I put some in the bowl in the front with a little water mixed in and a few crunchies on top. Because if they're not drinking water, you know, it's good for them to get some hydration. The door is open, so he's looking outside. And then there's 2 plates with just like some leftover food from earlier. Boo's been snacking on that. I was getting ready to throw it out, but, you know, cats are weird. Sometimes they like food after it's been sitting out for several hours. Like, by no means has it gone bad yet. But it's just not like as fresh as it was when it first came out of the can. You done, Boo? Does it meet your approval? Meets your approval? He's stretching. There's Simba. He's been hanging out on top of the armoire all day. And there's Splash. She's been hanging out in this cat carrier. And what I did today was I shut the door to this room so that way the two of them could just like relax on their own and not deal with the lucky seven. Here's Nancy. Nancy wasn't too happy about that. She spent some time howling at the door, but then she eventually just gave up. Look at this. Here's Richard. Hey, Richard. I've never seen him in that cat bed before. Usually it's Simba in there. There is now a very light coating of snow on everything outside. Hopefully we're not going to get too much more. I am having like cravings for something sweet and chocolatey. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm out of my dark chocolate peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's. I ate the last one yesterday. And I like to have like one of those a day, but I don't have any right now. Also, I did have some little tiny chocolate cupcakes in the house, which I also don't have anymore right now. We ate the last of them yesterday, so the last one. Uh-oh, someone's at the door? The last one was eaten yesterday, right, Nancy? Here's Boo. I checked the camera footage, and whatever that black thing was that ran through the yard at such a high speed, like it was going so fast, it's only a blur on the footage. Like even if I look for like a single still, it was a blur in every still. That's how fast it was going. I honestly don't even know if it was a cat because to me it looks smaller than a cat. It actually looked like maybe it was like half the size of Sammy, but I have no idea what it could be that would be moving that fast, that would be black. Like I've never seen any black rabbits around here. I can't imagine it was a squirrel. We really don't have black squirrels. And I know it was black. It wasn't like a gray squirrel. So I don't know. I don't know what that was, but it was weird. And then it was also weird how it was almost like the fox was kind of following it, but there's no way the fox would have kept up with that. I mean, that was so fast. I've never seen an animal move that fast. It is 7:15 a.m. Here's Boo. Good morning, Boo. Sammy came by at 3:30 in the morning. I saw her earlier in the night, but she didn't come to eat. She came up to the front of the house from the side of the house, and then she stopped because there was a lot of noise with cars in the street and stuff. So I think it spooked her, and she didn't come back till 3:30 in the morning, and she did eat quite a bit of food at that time. I did put more food out, but then I shut off the alarm because I was like, it's going to be light out in a few hours. The birds are going to be by, so I need to get some sleep. I had a rough night, so I did not get to bed until midnight because I was dealing with the cats, trying to get Boo to eat, cleaning up the kitchen. So that was not good on my part. And then I had problems falling asleep. When the alarm would ring, I'd get up, I'd see who was outside. Sometimes I'd refill the food if they were eating for a while. And then I had a hard time getting back to sleep. I don't know what it was. So I didn't really get a good night's sleep. I woke up today a little bit before 7. So between 12 and 7, that's 7 hours. But I did not sleep that whole time. I maybe got 5 hours of sleep out of that. So I'm not feeling my best this morning because of that. The other thing I've realized is that this is a mental game as much as it is a physical game. So this is the biggest mental and physical challenge that I've probably ever had to face, because usually it's, either a mental challenge or a physical challenge. But the mental part that's coming into this is I feel like I've lost my positivity, and I've lost my faith in being able to get things done because of what happened with Stella at the animal hospital. Because I've never witnessed such just cruelty and barbaric treatment before, it has really shaken my faith in a lot of things. So that's a noticeable difference for me. So when I was dealing with Stella, Splash, Simba, and Boo outside, there was never a doubt in my mind that I would be able to, get them spayed and neutered and taken care of. And when Stella, Splash, and Simba were rescued, they became house cats, and they were spayed and neutered, there was never a doubt in my mind that I would not get Boo. I was like, okay, it's just going to take me some time, but, Boo's next. I'll get him. And I knew it was not going to be, within a few months of when I got the other ones, because it was the middle of winter. Stella, Splash, and Simba came inside at the very end of December. That's when they became house cats. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to get Boo until the weather warmed up and until the summer. And that's what happened. And then when Hydrox passed away, when Hydrox all of a sudden could not use her back legs, and then she disappeared for 3 days, it was stressful, but I never lost my positivity about it. I never lost my faith about it. And, when she did show up and I took her to the animal hospital, and, I was told that, she had a saddle thrombosis and a large mass, there were no options. I felt very confident in the vet's diagnosis, and the best, most humane thing to do was to put her down. And because of the situation with her and Ditto, and she had spent her last night in her favorite shelter, and she had her last meal with Ditto, everything felt like it happened. And even though it was very sad, it was all understandable. And then a few months later, when Ditto was diagnosed with mouth cancer, that was a shock. But because I've known many people who have completely reversed very advanced cancers and very advanced diseases, I had faith and positivity that we could get through that I'd be able to help Ditto and we'd be able to reverse his situation. Unfortunately, life is very different for cats than it is for humans. And, I ran into many brick walls with regards to trying to find out information as to what works with cats, what doesn't work with cats, and possible alternative treatments, because it's very rare that people try something. So I tried things. I tried so many things with him. And he lived another 5 months inside. And even when it came time for him to pass, I understood that. I was like, okay, well, we tried for 5 months, and it was finally his time, and I understood that. And everyone at the animal hospital was super nice and very helpful, and that was difficult, but I didn't lose my faith and positivity. And when the kittens showed up, and I had 7 kittens in my backyard, and I was faced with the tremendous task of trapping them and getting them spayed and neutered, there was never a doubt in my mind that I could not do it. And I got it done in a course of a month, and everything just aligned. And that is usually what has been happening with the cats. It's like when something major happens, things just align to make it go smoothly, or to have a positive outcome. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes things don't align at first. Sometimes there are challenges to get there. But usually everything will align in such a way that the final outcome is understandable. But with Stella, that was not the case at all. I felt like it was the complete opposite. Like everything was misaligned, and I keep being haunted with the thoughts like, what could have been done different? How could the outcome have changed? And I know for a fact that the outcome would have been different if I took her to a different animal hospital. And that's what's bothering me. The fact that she was not treated properly at the emergency room she was in, and that mistakes were made there. That just has me shook. Like, it just has me shook. And then the fact that Sammy just ran out the door the next day, and now she's completely reverted back to her feral behavior. Like, she doesn't even recognize my voice. I don't know if she recognizes the house. I always thought that if a cat like Sammy got outside, they'd be by the door meowing to get in. I mean, Sammy never shut up when she was in the house. Now, she's not meowing at all outside. And she is so scared. Even last night when I was watching the video of her when she was eating, she's constantly looking around, constantly checking her back. Like, she's constantly in fear mode. I have to figure out how to get her inside. Today, this morning, I was looking at the possibility of using a drop trap. But the problem that I'm having with Sammy is that I've lost my mental game with that. Anytime I've had to trap a cat in the past, I've always thought, okay, yeah, I'll just trap a cat. It'll be easy. This time, I have all kinds of negative thoughts running through my head, which should not be there. And that is probably the biggest hurdle that I have to get through right now. I mean, yes, I have to get through the physical hurdle of being able to function physically, making sure I get enough sleep and making sure that I'm eating well. Yesterday, I ate really well. Yesterday, I ate more food than I've probably eaten in one day in the past 3 weeks. But I have to get my mental game back in order because I can't keep having these doubtful thoughts coming into my mind because they're not helpful. They don't serve any useful purpose. In fact, they just cause confusion and indecision, and that's not good. So I definitely have to work on that, and that's why I'm saying that this is like a mental game as much as it is a physical game. Right, Boo? Here's Splash. And then another thing that happened last night is that about 15 minutes after Sammy left, after she ate food, the fox showed up. And it showed up in the backyard on the patio. And it was coming by, like looking for food, then it was like running off, and then it was coming by looking for food, then it was running off. It reminded me of a happy dog playing. It ate a few pieces of food out of the heated food bowl but I don't think there's much food left to begin with. But I don't need a fox right now. And the last time I had a fox in this yard was when the Lucky Seven were outside. When the Lucky Seven were outside, there was a fox or several foxes that used to come by at night. And although it was concerning, I knew the Lucky Seven had safety in numbers. So I was never too concerned about a fox with them. But with Sammy, she's a small cat and she's on her own. So that is different. And the fact that I saw a black flash just blur through my yard yesterday, and then the fox was not too far behind it, that's a bit concerning, especially when Sammy came by the yard at 3:30 a.m. and then the fox comes by like 15 minutes later. I hope there's no connection there. So I will be having to keep a lookout for that also. But the problem is that once a fox knows that there's a food source available, the fox is going to keep coming by to see if there's more food. The way that I got rid of the fox the last time is that there ended up not being food outside. So it might have to be a situation like that again. But I'm using food as a lure for Sammy right now in the middle of the night. I don't know if the fox would come up to my front door. Here's Simba. There's the vacuum. There's a bunch of cat litter. I definitely need to vacuum. So what happened last night, another thing that happened last night, is that Boo did not want to eat his dinner. It was one of those nights where I just kept trying to feed him different things, and he wasn't happy with anything that I gave him. Finally, I opened up a can of Friskies. I don't even know what kind it was. It's not the pate. It was another kind that I had purchased like when Stella was not eating well, because I was trying everything. And I normally don't get the cats like any of like the bits or the shreds or stuff like that, because they have like wheat, corn, soy, that kind of stuff in them. And I normally avoid those for the cats. But I had a few cans of stuff like that. So I gave one to Boo, and he just gobbled it up. He was like, oh my God, I love this. And he ate it up. And I was like, oh great, he ate something. But then what happened later was, just as I was about to go to bed, I looked in the dining room and he had vomited all over the floor. And I know it was him because of what was in the vomit. So then I had to clean up the vomit, and that took a while because there was a lot of it. And I gave Boo a few temptations to see if he would eat them, and he ate them and he kept them down. So what happened was, every time that I woke up to check on the food bowl outside, I gave Boo a few more temptations, because at least he ate those. So I'm hoping he eats better today, but what I need to do is go out and buy some more cans of those Friskies, because if that's all he's going to eat, I need to have them on hand. This is what's left in the bowl outside, so it looks like nothing's been eaten since Sammy came by. And I actually can confirm that through looking at the videos. Hopefully nothing is frozen here. At least it doesn't appear to be, because if this was not working, the water would be frozen. The water does not look like it's frozen. I'm gonna clean this up later. Right now I'll just leave this here. Usually there are birds here by now eating everything. Like, do you see the bird poop on the step? Maybe they're not coming because it's so close to the door. I don't know. It was really convenient having it this close to the door, because all I had to do was open the door. I didn't even have to really go outside. Maybe I could put it even closer to the door next time. Just like really a few more inches, just butt it up against the house. I just got out of the shower and I'm going for a morning of small wins again. My anxiety is not too bad today. I forgot to drink my holy basil tea yesterday. That helps to lower cortisol, and I don't have any this morning, so I need to make some. I honestly think that was really helpful, and I honestly think the reason why I feel so crappy in the morning is because of the spike in cortisol that happens every morning. So last night, Sammy was not coming by. Like, I thought she'd be by early, but she wasn't. Hey, doing, Boo? This is all like blankets and stuff from when I was sleeping on the couch the other day. So she wasn't coming by, and I was like, well, is there anything that I could do to maybe make her not so scared so she'll come by? And that's when, I started that meditation, the same meditation that I used the other day, that I firmly believe was why Sammy started coming by, because I was using it so much the other day and I wasn't really using it much yesterday. So I started the meditation. It's a YouTube video. And what normally happens is, if I try doing this meditation while I'm laying in bed, I will fall asleep, like no problem. So I should have used it while I was having problems falling asleep, now that I think about it. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But so what happened was I did the meditation, and literally 5 or 10 minutes later, Sammy shows up at the front door. So I think that's just such a powerful meditation, and I honestly think it really works. I know some people are not going to think it works. They're going to think it's a bunch of woo-woo, but I don't care. It's worked wonderfully for me so far, and it also worked when Ditto went missing. So I'm 2 for 2 with the cats regarding this meditation. Right, boo? Right, boo, right, boo, right, boo? So I just wanted to document that again. It's 9:05 a.m. I'm trying to get ready for my day, and I just got like one of the nastiest emails that I've ever gotten from somebody who watched the video on this channel. Like, it is ridiculous. I have to laugh at it, but I just took the time to respond to it because it is so ludicrous. So it's regarding the cat food video, the homemade raw cat food video that was cheaper than Friskies to make. And that video has gone viral. Like, it's almost at 1 million views. And I've answered the same questions over and over and over again in the comments. Well, somebody obviously did not watch the video, or if they did, I don't know, they didn't pay attention, because in the video, I made sure to make everything so clear and concise as to how to make this. And I used a grinder attachment for my KitchenAid mixer. I specifically said it was a grinder attachment. I showed how you attach it to the grinder. I showed exactly what was in the box. I said attachment multiple times. It's a grinder attachment. Never once did I indicate that I was using just a grinder to make the food. I specifically said it's a grinder attachment for the mixer. I showed how I attached it to the mixer. I showed how I ground the meat with the attachment attached to the mixer. Like, there's no way that somebody could possibly think that I was not using an attachment, and that if they bought the attachment, that they would not have to attach it to the mixer. But guess what? Somebody did. So either they did not watch the video, because there's no way to watch the video and think that I was not using an attachment for a mixer. Like, there's no way. Or, I don't know, maybe they were somehow impaired at the time that they were watching the video and they weren't paying attention. But it's not my fault at all. I did absolutely nothing wrong. And I just sent them a whole list of every time that I mentioned that it was an attachment, and every time that I showed it was an attachment. And then I had to remind them that, you know what, I included a link to the original recipe. This is not my original recipe. Somebody else made this recipe. I included the link in the description, in the pinned comment, and even in the video itself. And I specifically said, for anyone who wants more information, click on the link to the original recipe. Then what I had to do is click on the link myself and copy and paste the section about how to make the food without a grinder, how to make it with boneless meat. And then I had to copy and paste that and put that in the email. Like, I just don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know what's wrong with people. And, you know, I've gotten a lot of nasty comments on this channel ever since it started. And I've gotten nasty emails, nasty messages, but like, I don't need that right now. Like, I'm dealing with so much other stuff. Like, I don't need that. But one good thing about it is that it makes me angry, and it makes me really want to post more videos and get back up to speed faster. Because way back in the beginning, like when I was first posting videos of Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, when they were living outside, I got so many nasty comments. Oh, those are not feral cats, and you can't train a feral cat, and unless a cat is less than 10 weeks old, there's absolutely no way to train them to become a house cat. Like, I got so many stupid comments, and it just really made me want to post more videos. And that's what made me do the Boo Day videos. That is what made me say, oh yeah, you think it can't be done? Well, this time I'm going to show you the entire process, and I'm not going to leave anything out. And that's how the Boo Day videos started. The Boo Day videos started because of Stella and her kittens, and because I had not completely filmed the entire process. I was just filming bits and pieces of the process and posting that online, not thinking that they would get the amount of views that they got. I thought I was just sharing them with some family members and friends who didn't live near me so I could show them what was going on. But then after several months, it became apparent that, you know what, there's something a little bit bigger going on here that I need to address. And that's why I knew when Boo showed up, I'm going to have to film the entire thing. I'm going to have to film like the daily process of getting him to the point where he's going to become a house cat. And that's what I did. And we can thank Stella for that. Stella and the babies. Right, Boo? I'm playing with the cats. I wanted to show you Boo. I'm using the old camera, the one that they're really conscious of, just because it's super easy for me to film this. But I want to show him to you because he's turning into a tunnel cat like Sammy. Sammy loves her tunnels, and Boo's starting to love tunnels also. Come on, Boo. Ready? Come on. Where you going, Boo? Here comes Simba. Simba's like, what's going on? Boo, it's your dragonfly. Come on. What are we playing with? You want to play or you want to eat? Here, Boo. There he goes. Is he going to go in the tunnel? He's near the back end of it. Simba just jumped on the cat tower. This is their gingerbread house cat tunnel. But Boo's been enjoying it so much I haven't put it away. What you doing, Simba? It's 1:15 p.m. I just got home. Here's Boo. And here's Richard. I know it's hard to see them because of the way the lighting is, but here's Richard. And there's Boo. They're hanging out in the cat towers together. I was going to show you Nancy. She was in another cat tower, but I don't know where she went. So I left the house thinking I was going to go to the local supermarket and buy some Friskies that Boo has been enjoying eating recently. And I had a handful of other things on my list. And as I was driving there, anxiety was hitting me. And I was like, I don't need this right now. I just don't need it. So I basically had to talk it off and walk it off. I made sure that where I parked, I had a good amount of distance to walk to the store. And then once I got in the store, I had to just basically tell myself, okay, just get the first thing on your list. And if you don't feel good, you could go home. So I got the Friskies, and then I was like, yeah, I feel fine. This is great. Let me get the second thing on my list. Then I got the second thing on my list, and I was like, yeah, I still feel good. Let's keep going. So before I knew it, I got everything on my list plus a few more things. And then when I was leaving the store, I realized that there's a Best Buy not too far away, and let me go in there and look at the security cameras because I could use one more security camera to point at the new heated cat shelter outside. I ended up getting 2 new security cameras because they were able to do a price match for me on Amazon, which was great. And then when I left there, I was like, I'm not too far away from Whole Foods. I would really like some dark chocolate peanut butter cups. I'm not going to go all the way to Trader Joe's, but I would think Whole Foods would have some. So I went to Whole Foods. I got my peanut butter cups. I got a few other things. And I ended up going out for lunch, and I actually ate a small salad. That's like the first salad that I've had in weeks because I haven't been able to stomach anything like that. But I was able to eat it, no problem. It tasted delicious. And then I just came home because it's super cold out. Like, it's really, really cold out. One of the reasons why I haven't really been going anywhere or doing anything is because it's so cold out, and because I know that my resistance has been low because I haven't been sleeping right, I haven't been eating right, I'm going through all the stress. So I've been mostly just staying home, but I was really happy to be able to get out of the house today. It's a beautiful sunny day, although it is freezing cold. But hopefully over the next few days, it's going to warm up a little bit, and maybe I could spend some more time outside, and maybe by spending more time outside, I can lure Sammy back into the yard and not just at 3 o'clock in the morning. It is 4:10 p.m. Here's Nancy. I just woke up from a nap. I don't know if I slept like an hour and a half, but I'm still like half asleep right now. But I got up. I need to drink some water or some juice or something. And then I need to scoop litter boxes and clean out the food bowl from last night and eat something. It's 4:35 p.m. Look at what's going on in here. Look at Simba. He's so comfortable. And there's Splash in the little cat bed. They're laying in here today because they went in here this morning, and I was like, you guys want to stay in here by yourself today? So I shut the door, and they're just really happy not to have their pesky little sisters annoying them. I'm just about to scoop the litter, so I cleaned up the water bowl and the food bowl for the heated kitty cafe, and then I pushed it along the side of the house in the front, right near the front door, and I put water out. I'm not putting any food out yet until it starts getting dark because otherwise the birds will come and eat it. I have canned food that I'll be putting out. I'll probably put a little bit of dry food mixed in with it, which is what I did yesterday. Right now, I am just about to scoop all of the litter in the house and put fresh water in the water bowls. I just put a few more things away that I purchased today. I'm making myself a cup of the holy basil tea, which helps to bring down cortisol levels. And that's going to steep while I scoop the rest of the litter boxes, just get that done with. And I feel like every night now it's like, okay, we got to get ready for the nighttime. And it's just it's an all new routine. And what has not been helping today is the amount of wind that we have. So we are having wind that's like 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts of wind up to 30 miles per hour. So it keeps setting off the security cameras. It keeps telling me there's a person in the yard, there's an animal in the yard, but it's not. It's just like things blowing around, like the patio cover blowing around, or the blanket on the clothesline blowing around, or just like leaves or debris blowing around. So it's 5:21 p.m. I'm putting some food out for Ox. This is some of the wellness pate that's left over along with some of the ICYMI Crunchies. There he is now. He's eating some leftover food from earlier today that was on a plate in the heated bowl. So I'm going to give him some of this fresh food. I just put a bunch of fresh food in the bowl, and the next thing I'm going to do is put fresh water in the water bowl outside. Here's Nancy. She wants to see him. She's looking. I just had one of my friends contact me with regards to a situation that I was involved in last year. It's related to that board of directors volunteer situation. This is someone who was helping me with that at the time. And I really can't go into specifics, but what he told me was really, really interesting with regards to how that situation is proceeding. And I can't go into it because it has become a more serious legal situation. But it was interesting to get the update, and it is going to be interesting to see how it all proceeds. Even though I'm not involved in it anymore, like I've cut all ties with that, I did put a tremendous amount of work into it, into setting it right and cleaning up the mess and exposing the vast amounts of, let's just call it mismanagement. So it's nice to know that all of the work that I put in may not go to waste and will potentially help the entire association. Which then brings me to the other topic, and the other topic is like losing a cat, both having a cat pass away and also having a cat go missing. It is so easily dismissed by people who don't have cats, who don't understand cats, like people who don't have pets. They don't understand how deeply someone can be affected by losing a cat, either way, by having a cat pass away or also by having a cat go missing. And, you know, people are so quick to say, well, it's only a cat. You know, they're just cats. You can just get another cat. I mean, that's not the case at all. Anyone who has cats knows that you can't just get another cat that's exactly like the cat you had, especially when it comes to someone like Stella. Stella was a very unique cat with a very unique history and a set of very unique circumstances. Sammy was the same. Sammy was the first member of the Lucky Seven that was trapped and brought inside and made into a house cat. The reason why the Lucky Seven are house cats today is because Sammy escaped from the trap. If Sammy had not escaped from the trap, the original plan was to TNR those cats. So I was going to trap them, have them spayed or neutered, let them recover for about 48 hours inside, maybe a little bit more for the girls, and then release them back outside. But it was because of Sammy that did not happen. Because Sammy escaped from the trap, because Sammy wanted to have a chance to become a house cat, that's why I gave all of them the chance to become house cats. So nobody can tell me that I can just get another cat or I can just get other cats and there's not going to be a difference. There will always be a difference because these cats, both Stella and Sammy, and every other cat that I have in this house, has a very unique history and a very unique personality and a very unique story. And people have to learn not to be so dismissive when it comes to the death or the loss of a cat. They're not just cats. They're members of the family. I'm putting some food outside for Sammy. This is the 9 Lives meaty pate with real chicken and tuna. This is what I got at the Dollar Tree. And Boo wants to be my taste tester, so I gave him some of the food and I put a few crunchies on it. And here's the bowl of food. This is about half of that can. I mixed some extra water into it, and then I put some of the Blue Wilderness crunchies on top. And I'll put this out front and we'll see if it attracts Sammy. It's 6:30 p.m. Here's Richard. I was going to show you how nicely he was laying in one of the cat beds, but he jumped out of it when I came in with this camera. Anyway, I set up the 2 new cameras out front. One is pointing at the new heated shelter, and the other one is pointing at like the side of the house, but the front side of the house. I have a camera on the back side of the house, and this is going to be on the front side of the house. So hopefully it'll give me more insight as to where Sammy's been going, if she's been moving around in that area. It's 8:07 p.m. Here's Richard and Nancy. So Sammy came by like 20 minutes ago, and she ate some food in front, and then she walked away, and she's been using the side of the house, but I don't think she's going through my backyard. I think she's going like under the fence where Ditto and Hydrox used to go, and she's going like on the other side of the fence to one of my neighbor's yards. That's what it appears to be. So maybe it's because Cousin Oliver has been hanging out in my yard, because she seems to be wanting to avoid like the patio area. So maybe she smells that he's there. So I'm definitely going to have to try to, get her back in the house via the front door. And around 8 o'clock, like after Sammy left the front area, a few minutes later, Cousin Oliver showed up to eat the rest of the food. So it's only a little bit after 8, and I already have to refill that bowl of food that I put out there. Hopefully Sammy will come back several times tonight to eat more food. She ate some food, but I'd still like her to eat more. And I have to fix one of the cameras. One of the cameras fell over. But other than that, it's really nice having the new cameras out there, because I could get a better view of like where she's coming from and where she's going. Boo is eating his dinner. So the cats are having leftover homemade raw food, about 2 ounces each. And what I did was I took the Friskies that I bought for Boo today. This is the Friskies Prime Fillets with chicken and gravy. Not the best food. I'm not happy with the ingredients because it has wheat and soy in it. But instead of just feeding Boo the Friskies straight, what I did was I mixed it into the homemade raw food. So he's getting like 2/3 homemade raw food and 1/3 of the Friskies. And he's eating it. Like, he's very happy with the food. He's eating it. So that is going to be the strategy moving forward. And I had to do this with Boo like years ago. to get him to eat like the raw food. I had to mix in some of his favorite canned food. That's some of the 9 Lives canned food that he was eating before. So he did eat a little bit of that before. And right now he's probably eaten already half of his food, but he's still working on it. He's just really happy. I gave it to Simba and Splash. Hopefully they'll eat it also. They seemed interested in it. Now I have to go downstairs and feed the Lucky 7. Sometimes he stops eating, and what I have to do is I have to take like the little fork or the little spoon and kind of mound his food in the middle of the plate, and then he'll go back to eating it. There's a few crunchies on top of it. It's the Blue Wilderness crunchies. I'm happy he's eating, and I'm happy he's enjoying it. It is 8:36 a.m. Good morning, Boo. The cats are all still in bed. I don't know why. Here's Simba. Good morning, Simba. So somebody threw up this morning. I don't know who and I don't know where, so I'm going to have to look. And I don't know if it was a lot. I just heard like the hacking noise and then like, it wasn't like a lot of vomit. It was just like maybe like a hairball or just a little bit of fur. And I had 6 solid hours of sleep last night. Here's Splash. Because no one came by after midnight. It was the weirdest thing. Maybe it was too cold. Or maybe it's because I put the food out earlier. Sammy was the first cat to come by. She came by before 8 o'clock, but she only came by once. She never came by again, but I let her like eat as much as she wanted when she came by. Like I didn't disturb her. Then Cousin Oliver came by, Bob came by, and this other like white and tabby cat came by, and a raccoon came by. I shooed the raccoon away from the feeder in the front door. I just don't want them getting used to coming to that feeder. So the raccoon ran, and I don't know how these fat raccoons get through my fence. I have like a picket fence around the house. I don't know how they get through it, but they get through it. And yesterday I made sure all the gates were closed, and I don't know if a fat raccoon can get through the gates. Maybe a fox could get through also. I don't know how they do it, but I thought the chances are better to keep a fox out of the yard if all the gates are closed than if they're open. But it was a really quiet night. Between 8 and midnight, that's when all the cats came by. And then nobody came by. Like, I didn't wake up once. And then I was like, well, did I just sleep through the alarm? Like, what happened? But I checked the security camera footage today, and it was really quiet. It was like the quietest night so far after midnight. Now, tonight it's supposed to get really cold again, like below freezing. And then I believe tomorrow night it's going to be just close to freezing, like around 32, 33. And then after that, the nights are going to be warmer, like 37. So I'm thinking maybe once the nights get above freezing, then I could start putting a trap out, because then the food's not going to freeze in the trap. The problem that I've had, because the weather's been so cold, is that the food has been freezing in the trap. And, no one's attracted to frozen food. Right, Boo? Right, Boo, right, Boo, right, Boo. Now, my neighbor down the block says she has a drop trap, because I was asking her, if she had one. And I was just asking her if she knew, like, the white and tabby cat, who she thinks she had the cat Tianard a few years ago, because it does look similar to a cat that she had Tianard. She also confirmed that it is Bob coming around, and we also know that it's Ox or Cousin Oliver, but she knows most of the cats in the neighborhood, so that's why I figured I would ask her about the other one. The other one does not have a tipped ear from what I could tell, but she thinks that maybe it was one of the first ones that she Tianard, at which time, like, she really didn't know to have the ears tipped. So I don't know. It could be a different cat with similar markings. I would really have to try to get more photos of it, more screenshots of it, and match the photos that she sent me. But she has a drop trap, and she said I could borrow it. She said she's trapping on Sunday, but other than that, I could borrow it. But with her trap, she pulls it with a string. And I don't know if I would be able to pull it with a string if I'm trying to trap Sammy at night and I'm not outside. Like, I don't know how I'd be able to pull like a string from inside. Like, I don't know how that would work. So I would have to like look more into that. The other option is to get a drop trap that does have like a remote to drop the trap with. What would be the easiest thing to do is just use the traps that I currently have and hope that Sammy goes into them, since she does like tunnels. But the fact that she's been trapped before might stop her from going into it. Or, I mean, maybe she would remember, oh, I was trapped before, then I came inside and life was good, and maybe she would go into it. The other thing I was thinking is maybe I don't put a trap in the front, but put a trap on the side of the house where she seems to be coming from. Like, she comes down through the side of the house to get to the front. And maybe I would put a trap there with the alarm on it, so that way I would know if, like, someone's in the trap. Like, I would put a camera and an alarm on it. And you know, potentially I could also put a trap in the front too. But the thing is, I don't want to scare her away. Like, I want to make sure she's continuing to come by for food. Right, Simba? Here in Boo's room, I found what looks like to be like a little bit of vomit. This looks like a hairball. Here's Splash. I just looked at the security camera in Boo's room, and all three cats, Boo, Splash, and Simba, were in Boo's room at some point between midnight and 6 a.m. I think it happened sometime between like 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. And all three cats were in Boo's room during that time also. At some point, they all went in to use the litter boxes. Boo drank some water. Splash went to look out the windows. Simba was laying on the day sofa. Unfortunately, I don't have footage of either of them like actually puking up a hairball, so it could be either of them. But based on the color of it, I want to say that it was Simba. Because, you know, Splash has all this white, so I think his hairballs usually look a little bit different. And Boo is predominantly black, so his hairballs are usually quite dark. So the fact that this is like a gray hairball leads me to believe that it's Simba. Right, Splashy? Hello, Splashy. How are you? Splash is getting ready for breakfast. I wanted to show you what I've been drinking for the past several days, and this has been making such a huge difference with reducing my anxiety, my cortisol levels, my stress hormones. This stuff is wonderful. This is holy basil tea made by Organic India. It's also known as Tulsi. This is Tulsi Original. I always keep this in my house. This is stress relieving and energizing. And then this one I got on sale at Whole Foods yesterday. This is Tulsi Lemon Ginger, which is stress relieving and balancing. I got this because of the ginger and the lemon. I thought it would help with the nausea, and I think it definitely has, because I have no nausea today, this morning so far, and yesterday in the afternoon, my nausea just left me. And last night was the first time that I felt like I was getting back to normal. Like, I felt like my usual self again. And I really think that this tea has been playing a big part in it. If you're not familiar with Tulsi or holy basil, this is what the side of the box says. It says, revered in India as the queen of herbs, Tulsi, holy basil, is an adaptogenic herb that has been used for more than 5,000 years to aid in stress relief and uplift mood, support the immune system, support the natural detoxification process. And based on my usage of this tea, it definitely helps with stress relief and uplifting mood. And it is also an adaptogen. And what adaptogenic herbs do is they adapt themselves to your body and what your body needs. And they're really wonderful with that respect. So that's why I always keep a box of this original Tulsi tea in my cupboard in my kitchen. And then we have this one. It says, this exciting blend of the queen of herbs, Tulsi, zesty and tasty ginger, and luscious lemongrass, accented with lemon essence, creates a totally satisfying and delicious experience. It reduces stress, uplifts mood, promotes natural detoxification, supports immunity, builds stamina, improves digestion and metabolism, and it has antioxidant effects. Throughout India, Tulsi, holy basil, is called the queen of herbs and is revered as a sacred plant infused with healing powers. Tulsi's stress-relieving and life-enhancing qualities, noted in ancient Indian scriptures for over 5,000 years, are now here for you. Children also love our Tulsi. So I started drinking the original the other day, and I noticed benefits. So I've been making at least 1 cup of this every day, and I started making this one last night. So I made this last night. I took a few sips of it, and then I put it in a covered mug on my bedside table, and then I've been sipping it this morning, and so far it's been really great. So I just wanted to mention these. I've added these to my daily protocol for myself. I'm still taking the Bach Flower Remedy drops, not as often as I was, but I'm still taking those. And I'm still taking my adrenal support supplements. It's a little after 9:30. I'm here with Boo, Splash, and Simba, and we're playing with the spider toy.
A spider on a string, a spider on a string. Watch it wiggle, boys. They love this little toy. When they play, they all take turns. Watch it squiggle like a worm. A spider on a string. They're playing on their rug. They're playing on their rug. A place they know to lay when they are going to play with a catnip toy or wand or a ball that's made of yarn. They're playing on their rug. His wife, it's been 2 weeks since she's gone, but we have to carry on. Boys, I know you miss your mom.
It is 10:10 a.m. and here's Boo. He's eating some food that I gave to Splash. There's Boo's food. They all got the same food, so I don't know why he's eating Splash's food. I just got a text message 10 minutes ago from somebody who lives 5 blocks away, and they sent me a video, like a Ring doorbell video from 4:22 a.m., and it was Sammy walking around their backyard. Walking around their backyard looking for food 5 blocks away. She has food here. I don't know why she's going 5 blocks away. So the guy told me that he does leave food out for strays. And he saw her flyer in the local convenience store where my landscaper's wife had put it up. So I asked him if he could please not put food out because I'm trying to lure her back home with food. And he said, that's fine. He won't put the food out. And I'm hoping he doesn't put the food out because I need her to stick around here. Like, I can't believe she's farther away than like where I've put flyers. I've put flyers up to like 4 blocks away, but she's 5 blocks away. She's 2 blocks from leaving the neighborhood. So I hope she stays in the neighborhood. And I might have to put more flyers around today. It's going to be about 39 degrees this afternoon and sunny. This was not on my agenda. I really wanted to like get a compilation video done, clean up around the house, but I might have to go out and print out a bunch of flyers and put them in door hangers and then put them around another area in the neighborhood. I have not done the entire neighborhood. I honestly didn't think she would be going as far as she's going, but she is. So now I have to put more flyers around. It is 10:15 a.m. I'm downstairs with Richard and Goldie and Nancy and Ziggy and Ringo and Eva. Good morning, Nancy. Nancy wanted to come up earlier, but I was like, I'm just going to ignore her for a little while because Simba, Splash, and Boo do like some time without their little sisters. My original plan was to film some video of these guys playing today. I need to do another Cats for Cats to Watch compilation because YouTube has been enjoying those videos, like as far as their algorithms go. So I need to do another one. But considering the Sammy spotting now, I'm not going to have time to do that. And I am going to have to then just change my schedule today. Thankfully, right now I'm feeling okay. Like I've been feeling okay this morning. I'm feeling like I'm getting my energy back. I don't want to wear myself out. That's the one big concern that I have with putting flyers around. When I put flyers around the other day, like I really wore myself out because of the super cold weather and the wind. But it's going to be sunny and 39, so maybe it won't be that bad. But it is a concern of mine. Like I don't want to like walk blocks and blocks and blocks and wear myself out again. It is 6:15. Here's Nancy and Richard. They're on my bed. I just set up the traps outside. So there's one trap set up on my front step near the front door. It has the alarm. It also has a camera. And there's another trap set up on the front side of the house where I've seen Sammy come walking from. So like every time Sammy comes to get food, she walks past this area. So that's where I have the other trap. I have some of her favorite canned food in each trap. I also have a trail of turkey deli meat. Like leading into the trap, and I have a blanket on top. I sprayed the traps down earlier with some of the Pet Remedy, like the relaxing calming spray that also cats really like. It has valerian in it. And then on the trap near the front door, I also put some catnip on the blanket that I have on top of it. Although I have like a towel on one and a blanket on one, I just made sure that where the food is not covered so that the scent of the food can be smelled easily. I just have the blanket on pretty much the middle portion of the trap to try to make Sammy feel a little bit more secure in going in there because she loves tunnels so much. So I've tried to make it like a tunnel for her. Right, Nancy? So fingers crossed, hopefully she'll come by early tonight like she did yesterday. Yesterday she came by a little bit before 8 o'clock. So maybe she'll do that again today, and maybe she'll go right in a trap, and it'll be an easy night. Right, guys? Right now it's 38 degrees out, so the food is not going to freeze right away. Here's Boo. He's eating an appetizer. So Boo has just been enjoying these Friskies that are like chunks or bits or shreds in gravy. I never give them to the cats because I'm not really happy with the ingredients. But, you know, he's been so finicky lately that I'm happy to give him anything that he wants to eat. But what happens is he only wants to lick the gravy, and he leaves all of like the meaty bits in his bowl or on his plate. So what I decided to do was I said, I'm just going to put them in a mini food processor and blend them up with the gravy and make like a puree, you know, it's almost like the consistency of a squeeze up. Well, he absolutely loves it. And as you can see, he's licking up pretty much everything in this bowl. So this was almost half a can. He had a little bit more than half a can earlier today. And now he is probably having a little bit less than half a can. And that's just going to be an appetizer right now because I'm trying to make myself some dinner. Then after I make myself dinner, I'm going to cut up some chicken. And the cats are going to have some chunky chicken for dinner. Right, Boo? Good job. You did good, Boo. That's a stretch of satisfaction. I went to the supermarket earlier today and I got 48 cans of Sammy's favorite canned food. So I'm hoping she recognizes the scent of this food and goes in the trap because she really likes this food a lot. I also went to my office to use the laser printer and I made 200 flyers for Sammy. So if I want to put those around tomorrow, I could do that. I'm hoping I don't have to do that tomorrow because I'm hoping she goes in a trap tonight. I'm trying to think as positive as I can, and I'm trying to envision her like going in a trap, and I'm trying to really envision this as a successful mission tonight, a really easy and successful mission, right, Boo? Sammy's gonna come around. Sammy's gonna come around. She's gonna be so hungry. She's gonna go right in a trap, right? Right, Boo? It is 8 p.m. Here's Nancy, Richard, and Ziggy. Sammy was almost in the trap. I'm so mad right now. So she was almost in the trap on the side of the house. Like, she was so close to going in. She was smelling the turkey that I had put in there, and, like, she would have gone in. But what happened was Cousin Oliver chased her off. Cousin Oliver was coming around the side of the house. He must have saw her. The next thing I know, he goes running through the gate, and he was obviously chasing her. I ran outside with a flashlight. I could not see them anywhere, but I know Sammy is fast and I did not hear a cat fight. So hopefully she got away. Hopefully she'll come back later. I'm sorry if this is blurry. There's not many lights on right now. I'm just trying to document this while I have it fresh in my mind. Then the white and tabby cat showed up, and then Cousin Oliver came back to the front to try to eat some food that I put on the front steps. So I chased him off. Then he went around to the back patio. I chased him off again. And then the white and tabby cat came to the front door looking for food, and I chased that cat off. So I'm probably just going to keep chasing cats off. Hopefully Sammy will come back, and hopefully she'll go in a trap. I cannot believe how close she was to going into that trap. And I'm so mad that Cousin Oliver, aka Ox, chased her off. I really hope she comes back. It is 8:45 a.m. Here's Boo. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I got about 6 hours of sleep. I mean, I think I got a solid 6 hours, maybe a little bit more. There wasn't much activity last night near the traps. I did wake up a few times when the alarm went off. Unfortunately, Sammy did not come back into the yard after Ox drove her away. So I'm going to have to make some changes today, right, Boo? I've decided that I am closing up all the shelters. So the Rubbermaid shelter underneath the house, I'm going to remove that, put it in the garage so he cannot access it. I'm going to take some cardboard and shut the doors to the doghouse shelter with that. I'm going to remove the shelters that I have in the front yard, and I'm taking the patio cover off of the patio table and chairs, and I'm also removing the cushion so he can no longer lay on those seats. I cannot have him chasing Sammy out of the yard, and he's probably been doing it for a while, and yesterday was the first time that I actually witnessed it and caught it on camera. So I have to make those changes. I'm probably going to remove the heated food bowl from the back. I'll leave the water bowl out, but I'm going to take the food bowl in. For the next 4 days or so, the temperatures are supposed to be above freezing. I think in about 3 days, it'll almost be 60 degrees. We're going to have a beautiful day. It'll be in the 50s. So I want to spend more time outside, making sure my scent is around. I'm probably going to take my pajamas and hang them up on the clothesline so that my scent is outside. I have to try to lure Sammy back and at the same time make Ox go away. And you know, it's unfortunate that I have to do that, but I can't have him chasing Sammy out of the yard. I thought it was going to be a case where, okay, Sammy will use the front yard, Ox will use the backyard, and it'll be fine. But no, he's chasing her out of the front yard. So I can't have that. So I'm just going to tell him, I'm going to listen, Ox, you got to go down the street. They have shelters for you down the street. They have food for you down the street. Like, the women down the street wonder why Ox is not using their shelters. And I'm like, well, he's been using one in my yard. And you know, I've been okay with that, but I'm not okay with it now because I have to get Sammy back. I need to get Sammy back in the yard. I was so close to getting her in a trap yesterday, and I'm so mad at Cousin Oliver, aka Ox, for chasing her away. Like, she would have went in a trap last night, and it would have been early. It would have been like before 9 p.m. Right, Boo? Right, Boo? Right, Boo? So that's what's on the agenda today. I would like to put some flyers around this afternoon if I have the energy to do that. Right now I feel good, but you know, it comes in waves and I'm starting to feel more like myself. It started like a few days ago, and this morning, like, I'm feeling much more like myself. Like, I was having a phone conversation with somebody and I was literally like, I can't take your negativity right now. That's a really bad attitude to have. Like, because, you know, we were talking about Sammy and I was like, yeah, no, I have to think positive about this. And, you know, I can't be negative like that. And the fact that those words are coming out of my mouth means that I'm starting to get back to normal, because that's like my normal behavior. It's not like me to think pessimistically or to have like toxic attitudes. So just the fact that I'm unwilling to wallow in someone else's negativity means that I'm improving. I'm improving. So that's good. Right, Boop? Also, the music is coming back. So whenever I feel good, I always hear music in my head. And when I don't feel good or if I'm sick, I never hear it. That's how I know if I'm not feeling well. It's like all of a sudden there's no music in my head, but the music is starting to come back. Like this morning, there is a ton of music in my head. So I think that's a sign of improvement also. Good job, Boo. Good job, Boo. Good job, Boo. Are you going to eat breakfast today, Boo? Someone threw up this morning. I think it was Simba. I think someone was eating some leftovers that were on the plates, and then they threw up. There was no hairball this morning. It was just food. How you doing, Boo? You feeling okay? For breakfast today, the cats are going to have some leftover raw food and then probably some leftover canned food. Since I'm not feeding 11 cats right now, but I still have like all the meals portioned out for 11 cats, I usually have quite a bit of leftovers. So I'll save the leftovers for like 2 meals, and then they'll get a meal of leftovers along with some canned food. So the challenge now is to get Ox to leave the yard. He has other places to go. He has shelters down the street. He has food down the street. I'm going to text the woman down the road and make sure that, you know, she's putting food out for him and other cats that come by. And that way, it'll leave my yard open for Sammy. Right, Boo? Right, Boo? Right, Boo? You okay? You okay? You okay? Rub your ear. Boo loves it when I rub his ear like that. It's 9:25 a.m. and Boo has the zoomies. Where you going, Boo? You gonna zoom around? You zooming? You zooming? I sat down to eat a piece of banana bread while I'm waiting for the rest of my breakfast, and I'm reading a little bit, and all of a sudden I hear Boo like zooming from room to room. Boo hasn't done that in a while, right, Boo? You feeling good, Boo? Boo, are you feeling good? He just ate a few Temptations as a little breakfast appetizer. I gave him the little bit that is left of the Friskies puree that he had last night. I don't know why he loves this stuff, but he does. That'll be like a little appetizer for him. It's 11:30 a.m. I just came in the room to see how Simba was doing, and I couldn't find him anywhere. And this is where he is. He's in this little cat bed in the corner. This whole area needs to be cleaned and vacuumed, but nobody ever uses this. I was literally thinking, like yesterday, of throwing it out. I was like, I'm just going to get rid of it. Nobody uses it. And today Simba's in it, so I guess I can't get rid of it yet. I gave Simba breakfast. He does not want to eat. Boo ate some breakfast. Splash ate some breakfast. Simba doesn't want to eat. I'm thinking it's because Simba has an upset stomach. Maybe he ate too much food of the leftovers overnight. Another thing that happened was I spilled a whole bunch of crunchies last night right before going to bed. And I was like, yeah, I'll just clean them up in the morning. Like, whoever wants to eat them can eat them. And they were the low-carb crunchies. So maybe Simba had some of those. Like, I don't know. Hopefully he'll eat his dinner. I am leaving food in here for him. I do have the door shut so he can relax in here. I'll open it later like I did yesterday. But for now, I'm just going to let him relax. Late last night, like around midnight, when Sammy wasn't coming back to the yard, and I kept seeing Ox or Cousin Oliver just like patrolling the yard, I was like, I'm just going to put some dry food out and I'll put it here, let him eat it. Maybe he'll get really comfortable and then go to sleep afterward. You know, sometimes cats get a big meal and then they like to sleep. So I thought, okay, maybe that would be good. So I took some of the low-carb crunchies that I'm not going to feed to the cats anymore, and I put them in this bowl. They're still in this bowl. So Ox, otherwise known as Cousin Oliver, did not want to eat them. Also, I checked the security camera footage and a skunk came by overnight. And the skunk didn't want to eat them. So I think that says a lot about the food. If you put it out and even the wildlife doesn't want to eat it, not a good sign. It's 12:17 p.m. Here is the trap from last night. It's still here. There's still food. It's probably frozen. I don't know. Right now, it's actually over 40 degrees right now. So it's much warmer right now than it's been. This is where I have the feeding table with the shelter that I made out of the cardboard box. I am going to be removing this. And this is where I have the other heated shelter. I'm going to be removing this also. I'm just putting them in my garage for now. And hopefully this will keep Oliver and other cats away. No one's been using these two in the front. No one's even been going near them. So, you know, I put these out. I tried. But it's going to be warmer for the next several days, so hopefully no one will need them anyway. I just took the cover off of the patio table, and I took the cushions off of the chairs. That's all in the garage. Here's the doghouse shelter. So what I need to do is cut out some cardboard that I could tack over the door area to shut this side and then the other side. But even if I do that, there's plenty of room for him to hang out here in these bushes. I don't want him to do that. But I could see how it could be really comfortable in there for cats. Hopefully, with no food out and with none of the shelters available, he'll just go down the block. They have food and shelters down there. I just sealed up the front and back of this with some duct tape, just some cardboard and duct tape. I tried using some push pins, but there's no way to get the push pins into the wood. I don't know, it's like really hard. So hopefully the duct tape will last as long as I need it to last. I could always put more duct tape on it. And that's what the back side looks like. There are some things growing back here. I just cut them back, like Rose of Sharon's trying to grow. Just cut them down. I don't need them here, but it looks good. It's 5:30 p.m. Here's Boo. Can you see him? He's laying on some blankets on the couch. I was sitting on the couch near him earlier when I was putting the flyers together in their bags so I could distribute them. I just got back from distributing about 100 flyers. I put them all up and down the street that Sammy was seen on the night before last, like when the guy texted me to let me know that Sammy was in his yard and sent me the footage from his doorbell camera. So I put flyers up and down that entire road. And then I also put flyers between that road and the previous road she was spotted on. So like all the side roads in between. Let me tell you, putting flyers around is like an amazing workout, because not only are you walking like up and down the roads, but you're going up and down steps. Like a lot of the houses around here, they have like 4 or 5 steps to get up to the door. Like a good amount of them have like front porches. Some of them don't, some of them do. It's just like really different. But it is such a workout. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. But what I have to do now is I have to get the traps ready, and I have to like empty the food that's in them, put some fresh food in them and get those ready. And it's so weird to come back to a patio that's like closed for business. Ox, or Cousin Oliver, he's over there. Like he doesn't know what to do with himself because the cover's off the table, the cushions are off the table, the shelter's closed for business, the food bowl is gone, and his little shelter under the house is gone. I even sealed up the little vestibule so he doesn't go in them. And here he is now. He's like, he doesn't know what's going on. He might still try to hang out under the house. Like, he might still try to hang out there, but he needs to go down the block. Like, he needs to not hang out here anymore. Go down the block. Go see your friends down the road, okay? Okay, you want to go see your friends down the road? You want to go see your friends down the road, please? Like, he doesn't want to leave, but he has to because I want Sammy to come around. You have to be nice to Sammy, okay? When Sammy comes here, you better not chase her, okay? If Sammy comes inside the house, then you could have all your stuff back, okay? Listen, Ox. If Sammy comes back, let her be in the yard, okay? Do not chase her out of the yard. Be nice to her. You understand me? If I could get Sammy in a trap and inside, then you could have your stuff back, okay? But for now, you have to go down the street, okay? Go visit your friends down the street. You know who they are. He's not happy, but this is the way it has to be because he chased Sammy out of the yard. It's 5:45 p.m. I actually put a plate of food outside for Ox. I don't know where he went, but he's not coming by to eat it. I put this outside like 5 or 10 minutes ago. And it's just some leftover canned food from the refrigerator, along with a handful of crunchies. So if he's not here to eat this, that's a good thing. The reason why I put it out was because I figure, like, let him eat this and have a full belly, and then maybe he won't be concerned with who's coming by for food. Like, I want to get the trap set. I'm also going to put some food in the feeder out front, not in the trap, just hoping, well, if Sammy comes by and doesn't go in the trap right away, maybe she'll eat a little bit of food out of the feeder. I'm only going to put a little bit of dry food in the feeder. And I just hope she comes by, and I hope Ox is not here, and I hope she goes in a trap. It's 6:04 p.m. and here's Boo. I just set up the traps, and Boo had to taste the food that I put outside, so he approves. And now I have to scoop the litter, fill the water bowls, and then I am pretty much done until it's dinner time for the cats. I do have to make them dinner. I have some chicken in the refrigerator that I have to cut up for them. They're going to have chunky chicken again today. Let's hope that Sammy is successfully and easily trapped tonight and that she could come inside and be with the rest of her family. It's 11 p.m. and the cats just had their crunchies. Boo, Simba, and Splash. Boo's in his room right now drinking some water. And the Lucky Seven have their toys turned on downstairs. They have their crunchies. And I'm just about to get ready to go to bed. I just loaded up the dishwasher, cleaned up the kitchen a little bit. And I just have to give the cats some fresh water. It's later than I wanted it to be. Like, I need to start going to bed like around 10. So now I'll probably be in bed by 11:30, which is later than I would like. All the traps outside are set. I did put some cooked chicken in them also. That's Sammy's favorite. I checked the security cameras, and Cousin Oliver came around maybe like a half hour ago. He just like roamed through the yard looking to see what's going on, then he left. So he's not hanging out in the yard right now, which is a good thing. Hopefully Sammy will come back. I am definitely hoping she comes back tonight and goes in one of the traps, or at least just comes back. I also wanted to document the fact that today was the first day that I'm starting to feel like I'm getting back to my normal self. I don't know if I mentioned that previously, but the majority of today was easy. Like the only difficult part of today, Boo, be nice. The only difficult part of today was like halfway through putting those flyers around because it's 46 degrees out. I'm still not happy with that. Even though it's warmer than 30 degrees, it's still pretty cold, and it was a bit uncomfortable walking around in such cold weather. It's not something I would normally do. That was the most difficult part of my day. The rest of the day was surprisingly easy. Like it wasn't a struggle to get through anything, which was surprising because, even yesterday I had some times where I had to, just kind of get myself through situations. So what's been happening is it's like the fight or flight reaction kicks in. So if I'm somewhere where I just have to just stand somewhere, like if I'm at the supermarket and I have to wait online to check out, that can be really difficult for me because I feel like I need to not just stand still. And that's where I find difficulties, or I did previously. And sometimes I will feel anxiety, like if I get to a store, about going in or am I going to be able to get the shopping done, stuff like that. I had none of that today. I didn't go shopping today, but I had none of that with regards to, doing stuff in the yard or even walking around with the flyers. So that was good for me. I'm hoping tomorrow is another good day. I don't know. Tomorrow could not be a good day. I don't know. I'm just really happy with how today went and how I felt today. It was really the first day in about 3 weeks that I felt this normal. And I'm hoping that it continues and it continues to get better.
chicken. There's chicken here, Sammy. Sammy, there's chicken.
Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.